Yes, a very good morning. Oh sorry, a very good evening. जश, क्रिश, रसेश, वरुण. वरुण बहुत दिन के बाद दिखाई दिया. इशिका, त्रिशा, good evening. Yes, good evenings. I hope I'm audible. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, a very good evening, guys. Just says yes, audible. Great. आज काफी बड़ा सेशन होगा तुम लोग का. Single entry, yeah, single entry got over today, right? And branch must have started. Single entry बहुत लंबा चला, 20-25 some I think. कस्तूरी says yes, काफी. यो yes, I can understand. करण के मुंह पे बहुत स्ट्रेस दिखाई दे रहा है मेरे को. आप छोटा सेशन ले लो क्या अभी. आई एम मीटिंग यू गाइस आफ्टर व्हाट 3 or 4 days. सो आज तो मैं फुल जोश में हूँ. सो आई शुड एक्सटेंड द लेक्चर. बहुत मिस किया तुम लोगों को मैंने. सो अभी तो मैं फुल जोश में हूँ. सो आई शुड टेक 1 hour मोर. सो आई टेक 8:30 टुडे. पर हम नहीं है. हम नहीं है बोलता है. कुछ सेज नो. हो गया ब्रेक आधे घंटे का आफ्टर ब्रांच का सेशन एंड सिंगल एंट्री का सेशन. आई थिंक ब्रांच का एक दो समय हुआ रहेगा. ध्रुविंद बोलता है कल ना, तो कल भी लेंगे. टेंशन मत ले तू. कल भी लेंगे, आज भी लेंगे, सब लेंगे हम लोग. 2 sums ओके. सो आई थिंक स्टॉक एंड डेटा तो नहीं चालू हुआ रहेगा. आई थिंक ब्रांच डेटा सिस्टम मस्ट हैव स्टार्टेड. डेटा सिस्टम, यस डेटा सिस्टम. एक ब्रांच अकाउंट बनाने का, एंट्री पोस्ट करने का, opening closing balances, goods sent, goods received, cash sent, loading का reverse and आ गया profit. Very simple. Yes, and how was single entry? मैंने सुना single entry तुमको बहुत टाइम लिया तुम लोगों ने. I got a feedback कि single entry has taken some enormous amount of time. ऐसा क्यों हो गया? single entry बहुत बड़े बड़े समय क्या? दृष्टि says yes. I think one sum on an average has taken more than 1 hour, which I think is a problem. But let's see. चलो, system is new, online learning is new for us also, for you guys also. Time लगा पर समझा, that is important. Time लगा लेकिन समझ में आना, that's most important. समझ में आया कि नहीं, that is most important. Yes. Very good. चला. Single entry has come to an end. Branch account has started. खुशी with a small k has said yes. Okay, great. So branch account has started, single entry has come to an end as far as accounts is concerned, and now we are starting with costing. Costing का अपना 2 chapters हो चुका है. I mean frankly 3. I don't really consider that introduction to costing as a chapter because वो कुछ है ही नहीं chapter के अंदर. So we have finished with cost sheet and we have finished with absorption costing or I think overheads. So overheads had absorption costing as a concept. So overheads चैप्टर तो एक है, बट आई थिंक आई फ्रैंकली डोंट इवन नो कितने सम्स किए अपन ने. हैज एनीवन केप्ट अ ट्रैक हाउ मेनी सम्स वी हैव डन इन ओवरहेड चैप्टर? इट शुड बी व्हाट 20 odd सम्स. आई डोंट नो. खुशी सेज 28 सम्स, वन सेज 32. ये कैसे हो गया? समवन सेज 28, समवन सेज 32. सम तो सम्स ही होंगे ना. 32. ओ सो वी डिड 32 क्वेश्चंस ऑन ओवरहेड्स. वेरी गुड. ग्रेट. सो ओवरहेड्स में लंबा चैप्टर चला. अरे आज बहुत जन आ गए क्लासरूम में, क्या बात है. आज सब लोग जोश में आ गए. सो आई होप लास्ट लेक्चर सब लोग देख लिया है, वेयर आई हैव गिवन यू अ डोस ऑफ अ लेक्चर दैट यू गाइस शुड अटेंड लाइव एंड यू ऑल शुड नॉट डू सम नाटक कि चलो मेरा लेक्चर मिस हुआ है ये वो. सो तुम लोग लेक्चर देखा करो, तुमको सब समझ में आ जाएगा. सो आई थिंक दैट हैज बीन टेकन सीरियसली बाय मेनी स्टूडेंट्स एंड आई कैन सी मेनी पीपल आउट हियर. क्या बात है. आज तो फुल रिकॉर्ड हो गया, उसके वजह से सब आ गए. बराबर. वेरी गुड. सो एज आई डिस्कस दैट टाइम ऑल्सो, लाइव बैठा करो will make a lot of difference, and you guys always tend to think that lectures are connected. I wouldn't say no, they are connected, but इतना भी connection नहीं है कि आपको lecture 2 के बाद lecture 3 ना समझे. So we are not going there today. आपका डोज कल के lecture में खत्म हो चुका है. जैनम बहुत दिनों बाद दिखाई दिया तू मेरे को. किधर था तू जैनम? you are not being attending lectures of accounts as well is what the feedback I have received. जैनम किधर घूमने गए तू? अब जैनम सोच रहा है क्या बताऊं, क्या बहाना बोलूं मैं. बताइए. बैकलॉग क्लियर करने का बारी क्यों आया? Why have you नॉट अटेंडेड लेक्चर इज माई क्वेश्चन. तू कर क्या रहा था मैंने नहीं पूछा, तू लेक्चर अटेंड क्यों नहीं किया उस माई क्वेश्चन. बताइए बताइए. जन्म ने बहुत स्मार्टली आंसर किया कि लेट मी आंसर दिस वे, लेकिन लेकिन अभी आंसर नहीं कर रहा है. तुम्हारे प्राइवेट व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे सब बातें चल रही है, क्या जवाब दूं क्या जवाब दूं. आई थिंक वही चल रहा होगा अभी. बस सर आपका स्टूडेंट हूं. हाँ. I know all these things. There is a WhatsApp group. There is a group within a group where all the gossips happen. Oh man, Antaryami. Yeah, I know. चला. So on that note, 5 मिनट टाइम पास हो गया. आपका एक्सपीरियंस. हाँ, yes. चला. So I think we have finished off overheads के 32 questions as per reliable sources, and some sources have said 28, but 32 I think should be correct because बहुत लोगों का 32 आंसर आ गया. अरे आंसर नहीं है, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस का टैली आ गया. Okay, so today we'll be starting with a new chapter, activity based costing. In the old course this chapter was not there. This chapter is still there in CA final. So CA final में से इसको यहाँ पे import कर लिया गया है. The level of questions is not as difficult as final CA for obvious reasons, but it's a welcome move that activity based costing as a concept has been brought at the CA inter stage, because it is very conceptual, and the fact that you guys are learning absorption costing, the fact that you guys are doing overhead as a chapter, ABC, I mean activity based costing को मैं ABC बोलता रहूँगा आपसे. So ABC as a chapter is a much more logical thing to add in your inter CA syllabus. ठीक है. So to begin, okay, before I go there, आपका टेस्ट के आपका कॉस्टिंग का सोल्यूशन आई थिंक नहीं है. व्हाट आई विल डू before the session gets over, the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes we'll discuss the solutions of your costing का question number, I mean of your last test का question number 1. okay, so last के 10 minutes we'll allot for that, and उसके पहले we'll be starting with ABC. so is that okay? टेस्ट लेकिन तुमने दिया कि नहीं पहले वो बताओ. Yes, costing. I think one question was cost sheet and 2 questions were of investment and PPI. I think higher purchase, investment and department. I don't remember. Department. हाँ बराबर. चलो. So I hope you guys are writing your tests, and in case not, you guys are at least attempting the test. If not on the day of the test, at least the next day, और वो test में backlog मत करना, तुम test देते रहो. ठीक है. So we'll be starting, as I said, we'll be starting with a fresh chapter, and the chapter's name is activity based costing. A very interesting chapter, and also it's very logical. तुमको कोई उसमें फॉर्मूला लर्न नहीं करना, तुमको कोई उसमें अकाउंटिंग सीखना नहीं है. इट इज वेरी लॉजिकल, एंड इट इज अ वेरी एक्यूरेट वे ऑफ एलोकेटिंग ओवरहेड्स. नाउ before we start ABC, a small run through of what we have done in the previous sessions as far as absorption costing is concerned, because this chapter is also connected to absorption costing concept. Now as per अपना absorption costing concept, first method which we have learned in absorption costing was the blanket rate of absorption, where पूरे कंपनी का absorption rate एक ही था. the entire overheads of the full कंपनी के फुल ओवरहेड्स वर डिवाइडेड बाय सम फैक्टर, एंड वी गॉट द एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट. बराबर. इसके बाद वी ऑल्सो मूव्ड one step forward, where we found department wise absorption rate, where department A, department B, department C में overheads split किया था. we had to find A, B and C as a production department के overheads, and we got the absorption rate. we also redistributed the overheads from service department to production department, and then we found department wise absorption rate made up of 3 things. One was directly allocable, one was which was apportioned to different departments, and one which was coming to production department from service department 1 to, depending on any other method. So this was the department wise absorption rate. Now there are certain flaws, I can't say mistakes here, flaws or challenges, because of which your absorption based costing का allocation of overheads will not give you the most accurate answer. तो ये flaws को अवॉइड करने के लिए अ मच मोर मॉडर्न सिस्टम ऑफ allocating the overheads has been evolved, and that much more modern system is called activity based costing. So frankly whatever was the objective, of absorption costing, the same objective is going to be of activity based costing as well, but the objective will be achieved in a different way, and the allocation of overheads is going to be much more accurate as compared to absorption costing. Now for those who haven't seen all lectures of overheads, कोई फर्क पड़ता नहीं है. If you guys have seen the basics of absorption costing, this chapter will be easily understandable. So just because you haven't seen previous lectures, तुम lectures miss मत करो. So ABC is simply evolved because of certain flaws in absorption costing system. So I will not tell you flaws क्या है. As usual, I will make an example. And वो example discuss करते करते you will soon realize that there are certain flaws or there are certain issues in the absorption costing system which needs correction, and that correction is this chapter that we are discussing, activity based costing. So for example, let's have an example as of now ताकि तुमको वो directly example से ही clear हो जाए कि what are we achieving. लेकिन before we start the example, is the chapter's objective clear? The objective of the chapter is exactly same like absorption, and the absorption का objective was to find, okay, tell me, the objective of absorption costing was to find the prime cost per unit or to find the overheads per unit. तुमको कुछ याद है क्या? Let me check. 3-4 दिन के बाद तुम costing का बुक खोले हो, सब लोग बोल रहे ओवरहेड्स, परफेक्ट, मतलब तुमको याद है. So the same objective is going to be achieved in this chapter as well. So as far as the objective is concerned, it is exactly the same, copy paste. वो मेथड अलग था और ये मेथड अलग है. So I can say your absorption costing concept and activity based cost concept can both be compared. अगर तुमको याद रहेगा तो I had told that absorption costing cannot be compared with marginal costing. Marginal costing is used for making decisions. Absorption costing is used to price products. So as I said, तुमको याद रहेगा तो I had told like a scooter cannot be compared with a car because the scooter has its own use, a car will have its own use. Like the way absorption and marginal cannot be compared because marginal has its own use and absorption has its own use. तुमको ये याद है मैंने क्या बोला था? बताओ. Yes, perfect. Now as against or as opposed to this, absorption costing and activity based costing can be compared because दोनों का objective same है. Now take an example and you will understand कि क्यों मेरा absorption costing में छोटा सा flaws है. ठीक है, अभी अपना लास्ट पूरे साल में बहुत तकलीफ अपना हो गया because of something called as COVID. तुमको याद है कि नहीं? Last year the reason you guys are sitting at home and not coming in the classroom is obviously COVID. So ये एक तकलीफ हो गया था. So let's make an example of that ताकि तुम ये एकदम recent advance example रहेगा तो तुमको याद भी शायद रहना चाहिए. Now take for example this is a pharma company. Like a pharma company is making COVID medicines also and normal non-COVID medicines also. Let's assume उस pharma company ने last year में 20,000 units बनाए of a COVID vaccine and उसने पूरे साल में 50,000 units बनाए of some other vaccine. ठीक है. Now as of now you guys have no clue what activity based costing is. So as of now we'll be speaking only of absorption costing concept. ठीक है. Now these COVID vaccines maybe has taken 10 hours. Okay, मैं example एकदम random use करूँगा just to have round numbers. ये 10 hours 12 hours is just an example. Okay, don't relate this example with what's happening currently. तो वो छोड़ो तुम. So let's assume that one COVID vaccine or one COVID medicine, whatever it is, has taken 10 hours for production, and these other units have probably taken 15 hours per unit. चलो, बराबर? Now, just because the hours are given here, can we find the total labor hours in the entire year as far as this company is concerned? 20,000 into 10 appears to be 2 lakhs, and 50,000 into 15 appears to be 7 lakh 50. Can I say it is 9 lakh 50? ये एक बार numbers देख लो, बराबर है क्या? Public बोल रहा है yes, ठीक है, चलो. Which means let's assume I am a pharma company, I am only making 2 medicines. One is a COVID medicine, one is a non-COVID medicine. पूरे साल में अपने को 9,50,000 labor hours लगे हैं as a company. ठीक है. Now and for simplicity let's assume these both medicines are being made in one department. बराबर, if these were two different departments, so COVID department का absorption would be some X per hour and non-COVID का your absorption could be Y per hour. But to make life simple, let's assume department एक ही है, सिर्फ product दो है. Now for example, if my पूरे साल का overheads is rupees 95 lakhs, obviously 95 lakhs में इसलिए लिया है ताकि number round figure आएगा. So 95 lakhs upon 9,50,000 अपने labor hours, can I say my absorption rate is 10 rupees per hour? Is this fine as of now? This is the most basic way of finding the absorption rate, where I am dividing my annual पूरे साल भर के overheads upon some factor, and the factor as of now is labor hours, and I got my 10 rupees per hour का absorption rate. ठीक है. Now this is I think 2 lakhs and this was 7.5 lakhs. ठीक है. Now tell me, मेरे अगर पूरे साल के ओवरहेड इतने हैं, आई विल ऑब्वियसली एलोकेट दीज ओवरहेड्स इन द रेशियो ऑफ 2 lakhs is to 7.5 lakhs, और simply find the absorption rate per hour and to multiply करो into 2 lakhs and multiply करो into 7.5 lakhs. Since I am using one common factor to multiply, the ratio of allocation of 95 lakhs, can I say is it going to be in the ratio of 2 lakhs is to 7.5 lakhs? Is this गणित, is this maths clear? Public बोल रहा है yes. So let us write this down as of now that 95 lakhs, okay, कुछ गलत ही दिखाई दे रहा है. Let me erase this. So I am saying 95 lakhs is going to be allocated or apportioned between COVID and non-COVID in the ratio of 2 lakhs is to 9.5 lakhs. ठीक है. Now why are we allocating overheads in this ratio? Because we found the absorption rate basis labor hours. So can I say as per this system, ध्यान से सुनो, 7.5, oh apology, 7.5, चलो. Now can I say that my entire overheads have been allocated in the ratio of this, because higher the labor hours taken, you give more overheads, lesser the labor hours taken, you give lesser overheads. Is this the logic behind allocating the overheads? Yes, perfect. Now what is happening? Yes, perfect. Chalo. Now what is happening at the back end, that knowingly or unknowingly you are allocating the overheads in the ratio of labor hours, which means तुम लोग ऐसा assume कर रहे हो that just because non-COVID hours are more, they should absorb more overheads, and the COVID hours are less, so they should absorb lesser overheads. Frankly, मैंने starting में से ही बोला है कि overheads are a period cost. It is not incurred in relation to a product. ये मेरा period cost है, वो आता है. I am not supposed to ignore it. I just need to find a way how to allocate them or how to absorb them towards products. अब मेरे पास कोई logic है नहीं, मेरे पास कोई option है नहीं, तो मैं assume कर लेता हूँ कि one product has taken more labor hours, so give it more overheads. One product has taken less overheads, I mean less labor hours, so give it less overheads. Which means I am blankly assuming कि अपना overheads गया है in the ratio of labor hours. You take more time, take more overheads. You take lesser time, take less overheads. This is what is happening, and this is what has happened in the past couple of lectures as well. तुमको यहाँ तक clarity है कि अब तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? Because इसके आगे I will link this with ABC. तो ये समझना जरूरी है before we start with the ABC thing. Perfect. Now, did anyone ask that 95 lakhs का content क्या है? What is 95 lakhs made up of? As of now पूछा नहीं, because मैंने example सिर्फ एक round figure ले लिया. चलो. Now let us deep down further in the nature of 95 lakhs. Let's assume that 95 lakh का जो अपना overheads है, उसमें से 80 lakhs has been spent on research and 15 lakhs has been other general overheads. मतलब इनका कोई specific ये नहीं है, they are general overheads. बराबर. मैं अभी now I am going deep down like further budgeted. Yes, all these numbers are budgeted only. Obviously when I am finding my absorption rate, all these numbers are my simple budgets. Okay, is this clear, Rasish? Budgeted. Yes, all the overheads are budgeted only. इसमें कोई वो नहीं, doubt नहीं है. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now we all know for a fact that COVID will obviously research. I mean, the COVID medicine will obviously require a lot of research. Non-COVID medicine जो है अपना normal fever, cold, cough, whatever just non-COVID medicines है, they will not require maybe much research because अभी ये अपना last year में बहुत तकलीफ हुआ है. So a lot of money obviously must have been spent on research because nobody knows the nature of this problem. Everyone knows कि दूसरे मेडिसिन कैसे है, क्या उसका रीजन है, द मेडिसिन में क्या होना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए. बट कोविड बीइंग समथिंग विच इज वेरी वेरी न्यू, इवन द डॉक्टर्स हैड नो क्लू कि ये क्या करता है, कैसे इसको टैकल करना है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ मनी ऑब्वियसली मस्ट हैव बीन स्पेंड ऑन द कोविड का मेडिसिन. नाउ यू टेल मी, इज रिसर्च एंड लेबर आवर्स टू प्रोड्यूस द मेडिसिन linked? Can I say just because the research is more, the labor hours used will be more? Are these two linked? पहला वो बताओ. No, 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 and some are saying yes. Okay, but Maxim is saying no. Okay, I'll repeat the question again. Now, COVID medicine has taken 10 hours to manufacture, and some other medicine has taken 15 hours to manufacture. Just because the research तो कोई back end team करने वाला है, रिसर्च ज्यादा लगा है, तो इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट द टाइम रिक्वायर्ड टू मेक द मेडिसिन इज गोइंग टू बी लॉन्गर. रिसर्च अलग है एंड लेबर वर्क तुम्हारा अलग है. सो नाउ इज इट क्लियर कि दे आर नॉट लिंक्ड? दोज हु आर saying yes, is it clear? Perfect. चलो, now you tell me, just because non-COVID medicines have taken more time to produce, तुमने non-COVID medicines को जब भी 95 lakhs allocate किया, knowingly or unknowingly, have you also allocated 80 lakhs of research? If 80 is a part of 95 and if 95 is going in some ratio, मतलब knowingly or unknowingly 80 lakhs has also been allocated to COVID and non-COVID obviously. Now 80 lakhs का जो pure research था, 80 lakhs जो pure research था, which medicine has got a major chunk of this 80 lakhs? COVID medicine or non-COVID medicine in our absorption costing system? Tell me. COVID. My question is, as per my maths, ये तुमको ऊपर दिखाई दे रहा है, ये वाला, इसका बात कर रहा हूं, ये आवर्स मैंने जस्ट डिसाइड किया है कि 95 lakhs में से some content goes to COVID and some content goes to non-COVID. Since non-COVID के labor hours are more, yes, can I say 95 lakhs का major content non-COVID को गया है because the hours of manufacture are more? Is this clear? Non-COVID, अभी समझ में आ रहा है. Yes, which means research which was predominantly done for COVID medicine, उसका majority of the costs are going to non-COVID medicine, and the reason is just because they took more time of being manufactured and the volume is also more because 7,50,000 is a combination of two factors, volume and the time taken per unit. So can I say 80 lakhs का major हिस्सा as per our costing has gone more to non-COVID? Is this clear? Yes. ठीक है. Now you tell me, is this fair कि रिसर्च किया कोविड के लिए और साला कॉस्ट एलोकेट हुआ नॉन कोविड में? सो इज दिस फेयर? नो. यस, बट देन जो अपन एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग सीखे अब तक, लास्ट 10 लेक्चर्स, 8 लेक्चर, जितना भी लेक्चर हुआ है, हैव वी डन द कॉस्ट एलोकेशन एज पर द कॉन्सेप्ट्स दैट वी हैव लर्नड? ये बताओ. यस. सो नाउ, yes, perfect. So now have you understood that something in the concept has to be changed because we are in a way, knowingly or unknowingly, allocating even those overheads to some products जो वो काम यूज ही नहीं कर रहे. So if a non-COVID medicine has not done research, why is a research cost allocated to non-COVID medicine just because the hours of manufacturing is more? Is this question valid? बताओ. Yes. Now do you believe that there is a flaw in this system? कुछ तो तकलीफ है सिस्टम के अंदर. Yes, and that is where this chapter of activity based costing is going to take control of a costing system. So activity based costing is a much more modern system which has evolved more recently compared to absorption costing as a concept, because this is what the problems were being both the clear. Yes, so this is where the problems were being faced by absorption costing system, and it is because of this that a new modern system of costing has come into existence, and that is called the activity based costing. So here in the last 15-20 minutes I have just told you कि एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट में प्रॉब्लम क्या है, अभी इसको सॉल्व कैसे करने का, दैट इज वेयर this chapter comes into picture. But have you guys understood the problem in the absorption costing system? Yes, fine. Now this is one example I have given on research. I'll give one more small example and things will be all the more clear. So let us go to the example of furniture. Chalo, so I am a manufacturer of maybe a table, ये अपना नॉर्मल डाइनिंग टेबल्स और सेंटर टेबल जो सोफा के आगे लगा रहता है अपना पेपर चाय कप रखने के लिए, एंड आई ऑल्सो मैन्युफैक्चर वॉल यूनिट्स फॉर टीवी, शोपीस, ऑल दोज थिंग्स. बोथ आर wooden products and both are being manufactured in my factory. Now you tell me, टेबल के अंदर डिजाइनिंग will be required more, or to design a wall unit the designing will be required more. डिजाइनिंग किसमें ज्यादा लगेगा? ओके, बोथ रिक्वायर सम डिजाइनिंग ऑब्वियसली, बट which product according to you will require more number of hours or more number of effort as far as designing is concerned, a wall unit or a table? पब्लिक बोल रहा है वॉल, परफेक्ट. टेबल में क्या है, एक प्लैंक है, नीचे चार पैर है उसको, तो उसमें सोचना क्या है, कोई गोल होगा, कोई रेक्टेंगल होगा, कोई ट्रायंगल होगा, उसमें कुछ डिजाइन खास करना नहीं है. देयर नीड टू बी वन शेल्फ ऑन विच चाय पेपर कप रखना है, एट द मोस्ट एक और शेल्फ नीचे टू कीप योर न्यूज़पेपर्स एंड सम सन्ड्री आइटम्स. सो देयर इज नो मच डिजाइनिंग रिक्वायर. यस, समबडी मे आर्ग्यू आजकल बहुत फैंसी टेबल बनता है, बट टू कीप थिंग्स सिंपल, अ नॉर्मल टी पॉय जो बोलते हैं अपना सोफा के आगे रखता है, वी नीड वन प्लैंक, we need at the most one drawer and चार पैर to keep the table standing. But as far as a wall unit is concerned, there has to be one showcase, there has to be a place to keep the TV. आजकल टीवी वैसा बनता है जहाँ पे you know TV can move here and there, so थोड़ा सा डिजाइनिंग उसके लिए मेरे को चाहिए. I need to probably have a showcase to keep all the bar items, for example, जिसको बार बार घर पे चाहिए, थोड़ा शौकीन आदमी है for example, तो उसको शायद वो सब भी लगने वाला है. I need some place to keep my showpiece, I need some drawers, I need cupboards, तो डिजाइन चाहिए. अभी वॉल अगर एल शेप्ड है तो मुझे अगर एल शेप चाहिए तो उसके लिए भी कोई डिजाइनिंग चाहिए. सो ऑब्वियसली डिजाइनिंग इज गोइंग टू बी रिक्वायर्ड मोर इन अ वॉल यूनिट कंपेयर्ड टू अ टेबल. एंड इफ देयर इज अ डिजाइनर whom I am paying money for, he is going to obviously invest more time to design a wall unit as compared to table. Again, just because the tables were manufactured more and wall units were manufactured less, तुम डिजाइनिंग ओवरहेड्स भी दोनों को एलोकेट करोगे जस्ट बिकॉज द आवर्स रिक्वायर्ड इज मोर. लेकिन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टाइम इज नॉट लिंक्ड विथ योर डिजाइनिंग टाइम. डिजाइनिंग कैन बी मोर, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टाइम कैन बी लेस, डिजाइनिंग कैन बी लेस, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टाइम कैन बी मोर. सो दोनों लिंक्ड नहीं है. सो इन माई current example, I need to ensure the designing costs, the designing cost should be going more to a wall unit than to a table. एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग ये नहीं कर रहा था. एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग सिंपली टोल्ड तुमने कितना आवर्स यूज किया, तुमने कितना आवर्स यूज किया. इट वाज सिंपली एलोकेटिंग ओवरहेड्स बेसिस लेबर आवर्स. लेबर आवर्स वर incurred or spent to make the product, but designing obviously will take some time, right? So अगर designing overheads है तो I need to ensure I need to give more to wall unit and less to a table. That is where absorption costing had a problem. So is this example also clear designing costs ka? Yes. Perfect. Now moving on. Now how to solve this problem? Now let's take same example of this COVID, non-COVID, whatever, and then we will start with the concepts of this chapter by reading the theory. ठीक है. So now मैंने example क्या दिया था अपना research and development का. अरे ये पेन कहाँ से हाथ में आया? 1 minute. Now the example I gave to start this off was research and development. So what this chapter is going to do, it is not going to first allocate overheads department wise. पहली बात, first and foremost, I am not allocating or I am not segregating my overheads department wise, but I am segregating the overheads activity wise. कि भाई research and development is one activity happening in the entire pharma company. Department 10 होंगे. I may have 10 departments. Every department may be having some research job. So research has to be classified as an activity. So my first step in this chapter is to segregate my company overheads into activities, and research and development is the first activity in my example. That's my first step. ठीक है. Step number two, I have to find something called as a cost driver. Now what do you mean by a cost driver? As the name says, it is some factor. It is some factor that is going to drive or that is going to impact the cost. So cost driver of costs. I have to also find कि भाई ये activity को कौन drive कर रहा है. Now you tell me, research and development, will this activity be driven by more number of research hours, or this activity will be driven by more number of manufacture hours? सोच के बताओ. Simple है question वैसे, but still research. Perfect. Can I also say more the research hours, more the cost? Research, yes, research, perfect. Which means the factor. Arre, Hansika has raised hand quite a few number of times. I think it's obviously by mistake. Hansika, by mistake, yes. तू भी बहुत दिन के बाद, I think I haven't seen you only before. तू क्या कर रही थी? A small deviation. Hansika, तेरा first lecture है? अभी हंसिका बोली कि गलती से हाथ रेज हो गया. नो सर, ओके, मे बी चेकिंग फंक्शन. ओके, तो दैट तू डाउट कम पूछती. ठीक है, तू है मतलब अच्छी बात है. चलो, नाउ कमिंग बैक. So can I say more number of research hours is more number of research cost, which means research and development activity is driven by research hours. Can I conclude this? Research hours. Yes, that means the second step is to determine जो अपने activity define किया है. In my example research, whatever activity we have determined first, step number 2 is define or determine that activity के cost drivers. It's a technical term, तुमको वो learn करना पड़ेगा, याद करना पड़ेगा, but with more number of sums that we solve, obviously it will stick in your memory. So second step is to find the cost driver कि भाई इसको drive कौन कर रहा है. Now tell me, in step number 3 I have to find something called as cost per unit of the cost driver. I am writing short forms obviously, but we'll read theory from the textbook तो clear हो जाएगा. Step number 3 is cost per unit of the cost driver. Understand one thing here, in step number 3 we are not doing cost per unit of the medicine. We are doing cost per unit of the cost driver. Now you tell me, the cost driver, सोच के बताओ, the cost driver of research and development activity is number of medicines or number of research hours? तो अभी बोला है. Perfect. That means perfect. So we have to find the cost per unit of the cost driver, which means I have to find the cost per research hour. Is this understood? I am not doing cost per COVID medicine. I am not doing cost per non-COVID medicine. I am finding cost per research hour. Is this clear? Yes. अभी simple हो गया. तुमने अगर cost per research hour find कर दिया है, that means you have found the cost per unit of the factor, not cost per unit full stop. It is cost per unit of the factor that drives the cost. अगर तुम absorption costing करते तो तुम find करते cost per labor hour. This is ABC and this is absorption cost concept. Is this clear कि मैंने क्या find किया है in absorption costing and अभी क्या find करने वाला हूँ in ABC? It can be cost per labor inputs also. It would be hours only. Labor input cost per नहीं, that is going to be cost per any factor. It can be cost per hour, it can be cost per kg, it can be any factor that is driving the cost. If labor is driving the cost, I will find the cost per labor hour. If the research is driving the cost, I will find the cost per research hour. Okay, fine. Now, in activity based costing system, when I find the cost per research hour, iska matlab, now once I know that which product has used how many research hours, मैं उस ही रेशियो में अपने प्रीवियस एग्जाम्पल का 80 lakhs किधर गया, ये वाला. So if research hours are going to be used more in a COVID medicine, 80 lakh का major chunk is going to be allocated to COVID medicine because the research hours used are more. You may have data that a COVID medicine has taken say 10,000 hours and a non-COVID medicine has taken a basic research of 2,000 hours, for example. So in this example, activity-based costing ka 80 lakhs will be split in the ratio of 10:2 and not in the ratio of 2 lakhs is to 7.5 lakhs. Is this understandable कि क्या हो गया है? Yes. Perfect. Now, is this fair that 80 lakhs, which is a research-based cost, has gone in the ratio of research? Repeat. 80 lakhs is going to be allocated in the ratio of research hours and not in the ratio of your labor hours. Clear? Yes. Now is this fair? Now is this fair that majority of the research based cost are going in research hours ratio? This obviously is fair, right? Yes, and that is what we, okay, like moving on, अपना सिर्फ एक defined activity था of 80 lakhs. Now assume that 15 lakhs जो मैंने example दिया है on the basis of other general overheads, let's assume 15 lakhs are fully design based. तो अगर 15 lakhs in my example are design based, here like tell me, will the design costs be driven by labor hours, by research hours, or the hours spent on designing? Designers. Perfect. So now that we have found the design based as an activity, I would say 15 lakhs. Let's assume that पूरे साल में मैंने design के ऊपर spend किया है 20,000 hours. So what I will get here, जो भी तुम्हारा 0.75 मिलेगा, for example यहाँ पे कोई भी random numbers आएंगे, this 0.75 is neither per labor hour, this 0.75 is neither per research hour, but this 0.75 is per designing hour. Is this clear? Hours on designing. Perfect. So we are not getting cost per COVID medicine, we are not getting cost per non-COVID medicine. What we are getting is cost per research hour and cost per designing hour. This is the objective of ABC. Once you get the cost per activity, फिर वो cost मिलने के बाद तुम उस products में allocate करोगे, whichever product requires or has used whichever activity more, उसका cost उस product को ज़्यादा जाएगा. Now maybe designing hours were probably more in case of my example of wall unit. So can I say wall units will consume more designing time? So 15 lakhs ka major content in my example. Now I mixed both the examples of your pharma and wood, but I hope you guys have understood. Designing hour if used more for wall units, 15 lakhs ka major chunk, yes, 15 lakhs ka major chunk will go to wall units and 15 lakhs ka lesser chunk will go to tables, because tables will use lesser designing hours than the wall units, and that is what absorption costing does. Now you read the first three steps. First, you split the company overheads into activities. In my example, the activities were research hours and designing hours. ये अपने examples है. Questions में 5 से 6 activities question will give. अपने को stress लेने का जरूरत नहीं है. Question will give you 5 or 6 activities. Then we have to figure out which activity is driven by which cost driver. In my example, research will be driven by research hours, designing will be driven by designing hours. तो ये अपना, so question will give 6 activities and 6 cost drivers. We have to do match the column कि भाई कौन सा activity किससे या कौन सा cost driver कौन से activity को drive करेगा. Then we get something called as step number 3, that is cost per unit of the cost driver. That is cost per research hour and cost per designing hour. And once I get the cost per unit of the cost driver, it is simple allocation. You use more activity and you take more costs. So by this system, the overheads are not going to be allocated simply basis labor hours or simply basis machine hours. They are going to be allocated basis the activity which has driven them. So you drive more activities and you absorb more overheads. You drive lesser activities and you drive or you absorb lesser overheads. Ultimately we are allocating overheads, which is exactly my concept in absorption costing system. Is this clear? The objective and what we are going to do. ये दो examples clear हो गए, COVID, non-COVID and your table and your wall units. Yes, perfect. Now tell me, last question if you want to do everything. Last question before we read the theory. Will activity based costing system, which we have just studied now, or absorption costing system impact the total cost of goods, or the cost will remain the same? Will it impact the cost or the cost will remain the same? Daniel says impact, Vinit says impact. Perfect. Why? Because absorption system ही अलग अलग है. That system is going to absorb overheads basis some other factor. Here the overheads are going to be absorbed basis other factor. Fine. Second question. Will the, सोच के बताओ, will the prime cost be impacted if I use ABC or if I use absorption? Public बोल रहा है no. Perfect. Because ABC and absorption costing are both applicable to overheads and they are not applicable for prime cost, because these are already direct in nature. I don't need to allocate cost, I just need to compute them. I know exactly how much wood has gone in a wall unit. I know exactly how much wood has gone in a table. I know exactly the raw materials used for a COVID vaccine and an RM used for non-COVID vaccine. घूम फिर के मुझे सब directly पता है. It is the common expenses, it is the indirect expenses which I can't find on a per unit basis. So I find per factor. The factor was labor or machine hours in absorption costing system, and the factor here is the cost driver through activities, and that is how I allocate costs. Is this concept clear? Yes. Perfect. तो ये हो गया अपना चैप्टर का कॉन्सेप्ट कि हाउ दिस चैप्टर इज गोइंग टू बी डिफरेंट than your absorption costing. Now that the concept is clear, we can just flip through the theory and then we can start with the questions. So theory I think group पे आ चुका है. I had told theory डाल दो ग्रुप पे, जिसके पास टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं है वो आया है क्या? आ गया, क्या बात है. Yes, so कहाँ गया अपना चैप्टर? Those who have the textbooks, come to page number 74, activity based costing, chapter number 5. Okay, before we proceed, तुम्हारा ये संडे का, I hope तुम्हारा chapters of test you guys know, single entry जो अभी खत्म हो चुका है and overheads. These two very small chapters will be a part of the upcoming Sunday test. दो ही चैप्टर है, very simple. Real says very small. Ekdam. Yes, I can sense the sarcasm. Rasesh says LOL, lol. बहुत छोटा. Yes, perfect. I know. See, I'm keeping only 2 chapters का test. देखा कितना considerate हूँ मैं. I am on your side only. साहिल बोल रहा है शुरू हो ही खत्म हो. Yes, perfect. शुरू होते ही खत्म होता है. Yes, खुशी says how sweet. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I know. Jia says most considerate. Yes, thank you very much. So this Sunday will be that test. So I hope you guys are preparing. आज क्या Wednesday, you guys Thursday, Friday, Saturday 3 दिन तुम्हारे पास है. Overheads just got over last week and single entry got over yesterday. We are thankful. Thank you very much. Most welcome. Most welcome. आगे आगे और भी पोर्शन टेस्ट में आएगा. चला, let's come back. Let's come back to ABC. आम्ही तुमचे आभारी आहे. धन्यवाद. आभारी आहे. चला, let's get started. We are doing chapter number 5 of absorption costing from theory. We have just discussed the concept and the objective of this chapter. Hope that's clear. We'll quickly read through क्या क्या chapters में है. अगर कुछ मंडल आभारी है, yes. अगर कुछ मिस आउट हो गया है तो I'll explain. I don't think कुछ मिस आउट हो गया है. Let us read the chapter's intro first. As discussed in whatever chapter, in traditional system, overheads cost are grouped in or absorbed in the products either on the basis of direct labor hours or machine hours or volume. These 3 or 4 things combined together are called the level of activity. So my absorption costing formula is overheads which are budgeted upon budgeted level of activities. The activities are labor hours, machine hours or volume or material cost, labor cost or prime cost. वो time pass में बहुत बार किया हुआ है, ठीक है. In certain cases, this system gives inaccurate cost information. What are they referring to? They are referring to the fact that 80 lakhs in my example is going on the basis of labor hours in spite of a non-COVID medicine not using a lot of research activity. The main cause is the calculation of the overhead rate itself, which is usually based on labor hours or machine hours. Now, अगर तुमने आवर्स ही गलत यूज किया है तो एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट भी गलत आएगा, और अगर एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट गलत है सो ऑब्वियसली इट इज गोइंग टू बी in the cost of the product, and if the rate is wrong, the costing of the product is also wrong. These rates assume that the products take longer time to make generate more overheads. Is this point clear in the example, that just because a non-COVID medicine has taken more time to be produced for manufacture, it is consuming more costs, and this is also true for research based costs, and research and manufacturing time frankly are no way related. In spite of that, research cost का major chunk has gone to a non-COVID medicine. This is what the last line implies. ठीक है, यूजफुलनेस ये सब टाइम पास है, हाई अमाउंट ऑफ ओवरहेड्स, ठीक है, वाइड रेंज ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, दैट्स फाइन, प्रेजेंस ऑफ नॉन वॉल्यूम एक्टिविटी, सो दैट मीन्स देयर आर एक्टिविटीज विच आर नॉट डिपेंडिंग ऑन वॉल्यूम. तो ऐसे अगर मेरे पास बहुत एक्टिविटीज है, then in that case ABC is suitable. And stiff competition, this is more of a pricing like reason. If the costing of the product is wrong, then setting of selling price will also be wrong, because cost plus markup is selling price. If selling price is set incorrectly, then competition will get advantage because their pricing may be lesser than ours. Demand उनकी तरफ जाएगा. That is where the problem will arise. So these are some situations where ABC obviously is much more helpful. And frankly, if any system is going to allocate costs in a more accurate way, तो वो competition हो या competition नहीं हो, the better system always has to be that is finding the correct cost of the goods produced. ठीक है, meaning ABC assigns cost to activities rather than products. We have just seen that because मैं अपने 95 lakhs के overheads, I am not allocating them to products directly. I am first allocating them to activities, and through activity I am allocating them to the products. Technique which involves identification of cost with each cost driving activity and making it the basis for apportionment. So let me find out कि cost को drive कौन कर रहा है, and then basis that apportion them to products. That's what ABC is doing. Then ABC assigns cost to activities based on their use of resources. So if a product has used more of designing hours, then you give them more overheads. If a medicine has used more of research activity, then you give them more medicines. That is what ABC does. ठीक है, we have discussed research and design का example. Some other activities could be customer service activity, marketing as an activity can be distribution based, activity can be your number of setups in a machine, activity can be packing, activity can be distributing, activity can be repacking, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So all these are activities. What we have discussed in the example is only research and design to understand the concept. एक बार कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो तो कोई भी एक्टिविटी दो, मुझे काम एक ही करना है. एंड दी आर सिंपल कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स के एग्जांपल्स. वी हैव डिस्कस व्हाट कॉस्ट ड्राइवर इज. अगर लिखना है, अगर लिखना है तो लिख सकते हो कहीं ना कहीं बाजू में, एनी फैक्टर that drives the cost of an activity. It means higher the cost driver, higher the cost. So higher the research hours, higher the cost on research, higher the designing hours, higher the cost of designing. So cost driver, that's the meaning, and these are simple examples of cost drivers. So तुमको फिर the question will not tell कि allocate customer service on the basis of service calls. Obvious सी बात है, customer service and maybe number of parts of the product. तो मैं क्या इसका बात कर रहा हूँ, maybe customer service and number of parts. This is obviously not linked. Just because the parts are more, you are not going to require more customer service. But if the number of service calls are more, you're going to pay your service department more. So service calls or number of products service, that is going to drive the cost of the activity of customer service. That is how you allocate cost. तुमको 5 activity दिया जाएगा, तुमको 5 cost drivers दिया जाएगा. You have to correlate which activity will be driven by which factor. It is somewhat similar to allocating costs of overheads. You will be given 5 overheads and 5 factors. So area will go as per square feet, for example. Machine based overheads will go on the basis of machine hours, for example. So all these are bases through which your allocation is going to happen. Here we will have the cost driver, which is going to drive the cost of the activity. So ये अपना थोड़े examples हो गए. And this is how these two systems are different. We have done ABC and we have done your traditional system as well. एक बार फटक से read कर लो उसको, कुछ डाउट्स तो पूछ लो, because it is very very simple. Just take 2 or 3 minutes to read this points of differentiation. Majorly we have discussed everything. एक बार flip कर लो, अगर कुछ डाउट्स है तो let me know. Otherwise we are good. Otherwise we are good to start the questions after reading the last 3-4 points. Next page पे time pass है, ठीक है. We'll read the last 4-5 points as well, and then we will start with the questions. Take 2-3 minutes to read. This is important. Point number 5 is important. Costs are assigned to objects or activities, but they are not assigned to units as of now. But obviously वो बाद में units को जाने वाला है. ये भी important है. Point number 4. Activity wise recovery rates. In my example, cost per research hour, cost per your designing hour. That is what point number 4 suggests, that activity wise rates are found. And अगर अपना old system है, so it's either cost per hour of a company blanket या फिर cost of various departments. So have you guys read the 5 or 6 points of differentiation? So questions like this can come in the exam, कि distinguish or how is ABC different than absorption costing. So all these points you guys need to know. So एक बार तुमको पढ़ना पड़ेगा ये. Fine. Sahil says yes, Rui says yes, Samay says yes. Okay, ये अपना हो गया points of your differentiation and steps. We have discussed this as well. How do we start the activity of ABC? First, what we do is we identify the various activities. In my example, I have identified that research is an activity and designing is an activity, for example. Then relate these two activities. मतलब research is driven by whom? Research hours. Designing is driven by whom? Your designing hours. Support activities are then spread across primary activities. ये point हमने discuss नहीं किया है. Now, have we done overheads chapter where we reallocated service department costs to the production department. ये अपन ने किया हुआ है कि नहीं किया हुआ है? Yes, 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 ठीक है. How many methods? चलो याद करते. How many methods were there to reallocate the service department overheads to production departments? 3. Perfect. One was normal, one was step ladder, and one was reciprocal. Okay, tell me reciprocal के अंदर कितने methods थे? 3. Perfect. One was equation. One was where S1, S2 goes to every department. I think that was a continuous distribution. And one was your trial error. So उसके अंदर भी 3 methods थे. Fine. Now, like the way the logic is the same. Like the way S1, S2 costs were reallocated to P1, P2, P3, maybe if there are some support activities which are actually not directly used to drive the cost or in the product, तो अपने को support activity का cost भी activity 1, activity 2 में reallocate करना पड़ेगा basis some ratio. Now in CA inter sums ये इतना common questions नहीं है, but in case they ask, we need to know that we also reallocate support department or support activity costs to other normal activity cost and the ratio will be given to us. So वो भी अपन करने का. And ये सब होने के बाद we will find out the cost drivers. We'll compute the cost drivers. किधर गया? We'll compute the cost drivers and then we find the cost per unit of the cost driver. This activity is cost per unit of the cost driver. ये find करने के बाद that means your cost per research R and cost per activity R, and then you allocate them to different products. This is what we have done. We have spoken about this, we have read about this as well. Last thing is how to compute the cost, total cost of the activity. In my example, 80 lakhs of research and number of research hours, I will get the cost per research hour. Same example में 15 lakhs were designing overheads and some hours were designing hours. So activity का cost आएगा numerator में and the total number of the factor or the hours that are driving those costs will come in the denominator and I will get the cost per unit of the cost driver. Is this clear? सब कुछ पढ़ लिया अपन ने, सब कुछ डिस्कस भी हो चुका है. Any queries as of now before we jump to the question? ये जो बात का theory है, practical application, that's more of a reading theory. As of now it is not required to solve the questions. जब भी time आएगा तभी अपन पढ़ लेंगे. So we have simply discussed the very logic of this chapter and we have read that from the textbook as well, which means we have covered everything that is there in the textbook as far as theory is concerned, which means we are all set. We are all set to start with the questions. How many questions does this chapter have? 10, 12, 15, 8, 9. अरे 9 questions ही है, ठीक है. The sums are not as lengthy as absorption costing. कोई sum तुम्हारा absorption costing का काफी बड़ा था, but this is simple. 9 questions. Okay, so all set to start the questions. I don't see any section of extra questions out here because इसमें जो भी अपना old course में sums थे extra वाले वो मैंने इसमें add कर दिए. So there is no extra questions or any other section here. So there's only one section because it's a relative new chapter. So there are very less questions available in other reference books as well. So this is a good mix of questions. चालू करेंगे. श्री गणेश किया जाए activity based costing का. हो. Yes. Okay. So let us start. I don't think there is any other theory which needs to be dictated. Whatever theory was there, it is there in the textbook. There is nothing new that needs to be mentioned in the notebook. So we will directly start with the questions. All right, page number 78, question number 1. Let's start reading. Some company is a multi-product company. Okay, मतलब बहुत सारे products है company के पास. Manufacturing 3 products. गणपति अप्पा मौर्य. Yes, जैना बहुत time pass के mood में लग रहा है आज. Manufacturing 3 products A, B and C. ठीक है. The budgeted costs and the production for the year 31st March 2020 is as follows. ठीक है. We have 3 products A, B and C. Okay. This is the quantity 4000, 3000 and 1600. That is my volume of the output manufactured. ठीक है. Resources per unit. Materials 4, 6 and 3. Direct labor 30, 45 and 60. Now before we go on, Can I add 30 to 4 and state that my prime cost is 34? No, 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 no. Why? Because 4 is in terms of kg and 30 is in terms of minutes. So just because एक प्रोडक्ट के कॉलम में नंबर्स दिखाई दे रहे हैं, that is not necessary that they are rupees only. So always read the data carefully. Direct material bracket में kgs mention किया है, so the 4 kgs and 30 minutes, obviously rupees नहीं है. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ेंगे. The budgeted labor rate, the budgeted direct labor rate was rupees 10 per hour. एक मिनट, labor rate, ठीक है. And the budgeted material cost was rupees 2 per kg. Okay, can I add 10 to 2 and then mention the fact that 12 is my cost per unit? बताओ. No, obviously no, because 10 is per hour and 2 is per kg. These two things I have to multiply with the consumption to get the cost per unit, and that can qualify for prime costs. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ेंगे. Production overheads were budgeted at 99,450, ठीक है, and were absorbed to the products using a labor hour rate. Tell me, is this activity based costing system or this is the traditional system? No. Which system is this? Activity or traditional? Traditional. ठीक है, perfect. तुम लोग को समझ में आ रहा है तुम क्या पढ़ रहे हो? Okay. In traditional system also, what is the method of absorption used here? Labor hour, machine hour, output, material cost, what? बताओ. Labor hour, perfect. So things are getting into your head. Very good. Now ABC Limited followed absorption costing system. Okay, if the rate is given per labor, yeah, if the question is mentioning that absorption is happening basis labor hour, then it is clear that it's a traditional system of absorption. ठीक है. Now the company is considering to adopt activity based costing system. Now this chapter has come into existence. ठीक है. The following additional information is used. Now the minute the term is additional information, always remember additional information should be predominantly used for ABC. Any data which is before the additional information part, that should only be used for traditional costing, because this data has been given or found out only for ABC. ठीक है. The budgeted overheads were analyzed into following. This is material handling. It's material handling, storage costs and electricity. Okay, tell me, if you add up these three figures, should you get 99,450? ये मिलना चाहिए कि फ्लूकली आ रहा है? Yes. So is it a coincidence or the overheads का summation or the activity के cost का summation should always be equal to the overheads? मिलना चाहिए. Perfect. क्यों? Because my job is to absorb all the overheads. If company's overheads are 99,000 whatever amount, I need to have activities and the summation of activity cost has to be equal to total overheads of the company. ठीक है. The cost drivers identified were as follows. So here the question is kind. It is telling you कौन सा activity को क्या drive कर रहा है. So material handling is driven by weight of the materials. Storage costs are driven by number of batches, and electricity is driven by number of machine operators. Here the cost drivers are given. Is this clear? कि कौन सा activity is driven by which costs? Just is saying equal. अच्छा, equal मिलना चाहिए, बराबर. So is this clear कि cost drivers है in technical terms? Yes. Okay, आगे बढ़ेंगे. Data on the cost drivers is as follows. For complete production, ठीक है, for complete production batches of materials are 10, 5 and 15. ये तीनों A, B and C का इतने batches बन गए हैं. ठीक है. And the cost of per unit of production, the number of machine operators are 6, 3 and 2. So we have been given data of batches, we have been given data of number of machine operators. ठीक है. अभी करना क्या है? You are requested to prepare for the management showing unit costs of the and total cost of each product, मतलब A, B and C as per absorption costing method. Can I say this is the old system of absorption. Yes, 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 perfect. Then prepare a statement for management showing the product cost of each product using ABC approach. Is this chapter's concept? Yes, so we have to find the cost of the product if ABC is not there and if ABC is there. Basics of absorption will be used. तो इसके लिए पूरा चैप्टर जानना जरूरी नहीं है. That's why I mentioned that in case you have even seen the first chapter of or the first lecture of absorption costing, तुमको basic तो समझ में आ ही जाएगा. ठीक है. So here in the first part we will not use any data which is of relevance to ABC to find old system, and we will generally not use any data of the old system to find the overheads as per ABC. Is this clear कि पूछा क्या है question में before we start the solution? Yes, yes, yes. ठीक है. And final part, state the reasons as to why the different products are costing differently. Obviously एक में ABC है, एक में traditional system है. The overheads are going to be absorbed differently. Prime cost will remain the same. So main reason of the cost differentiation is going to be the system of absorption. Hardly 3-4 line का answer है. Once all numbers are ready, we will then write the theory. Fine. So first things first, in the first part of the solution, पहला वाला, ये वाला, I am not going to do anything of ABC based. First, I need to find out the absorption rate. Do I have the absorption rate or do I have the absorption method? I think I have the method of direct labor rate. वो जो ऊपर का दिया है 10 rupees per hour, that is the cost of your labor rate. That is what I am paying my laborers to produce the product. It's a direct wages. It's a part of prime cost. I want the absorption rate for a labor hour method. ठीक है. Now, if I want to do the costing as per the old system, I will need the absorption rate. Tell me, what is the formula for getting the absorption rate as per labor hour method? Do I have the numerator and denominator both, or do I have only one data as of now? Do I have numerator? So let's go step by step. Do I have the numerator to get the absorption rate? Khushi says yes. Diya, Vineet, Isha, all these people say yes. Fine. And that number is obviously 99,450 ये वाला being the overheads. ठीक है. Do I have the total labor hours of the company as of now? No, which means the first working note is going to be computation of total labor hours. That is going to be output into direct labor के minutes. We'll get the data in terms of minutes. I'll divide by 60. I will get the number of labor hours. So can I start with the working note to find labor hours? Yes, but understand the logic behind the working note. Question will not tell you, please find the labor hours, please find the absorption rate. तुमको खुद सोचना है कि for getting the absorption rate, I need the labor hours, and for labor hours, I will have to make a working note, and that's what is happening to start the solution. Alright, so we are doing activity based costing का chapter. ठीक है. In this we are starting off with question number 1 and उसके अंदर working note. As I said, जो भी working note दे रहे उसको कुछ हाथ पैर नाम कुछ दे दो. Calculation of labor hours. तुम बोलोगे labor hours दिया हुआ है. नहीं, but I need total. I just don't need the per unit hours. I need the total labor hours. So since there are 3 products, there are 3 columns. One column is going to be for particulars and 3 columns for 3 products A, B and C. एक रो में आएगा output because I need total labor hours, and दूसरा है labor time per unit. Time क्यों लिखा है? Because ये hours नहीं है. I'll mention minutes in the table so you guys know that we have to convert the minutes from minutes to hours. ये ना basic format है, इसमें कुछ rocket science नहीं है. We will get total time bracket minutes और उसके next line में we'll convert the minutes to hours to get the rate per hour. Tell me, what is the output of the 3 products? Is that given in the first line? of the table, 4000, 3000 and 1600. So 4000, 3000, 1600. And as far as minutes is concerned, 30, 45 and 60. So it is 30 minutes, 45 minutes and 60 minutes. This data is directly given in the question, so I don't think it should be a problem. Number of minutes, 4 into 3, 1,20,000 or 12,000? Forty-five threes are 135. Is this correct? एक बार देख लो. 16 6 are 120. Yes. Therefore total hours bracket में minutes divided by 60. 96,000. ओके, एक जीरो एक्स्ट्रा आ गया. हाँ बराबर. So divide by 60, 20. Tell me hours कितना आया for A? 2000. ओके 2000. हाँ बराबर 2000 hours. This will be 225, 2250 and उतना ही आएगा ना, because 6 वही है. It is 60 minutes, so 1 hour ही हो गया. So can I say these are my total number of hours? So last line can be, therefore total hours is equal to 2000 plus 2250 plus 1600 appears to be 3850. नहीं 36, 4850, 5850. okay, 5850 hours. Is this 5850 clear? Yes, hopefully yes. And is this clear as to why we are finding the 5850? Because we need the absorption rate as per the old system. Now, do you have the data to get absorption rate? Do we have numerator and denominator both? Yes, ठीक है. Next working note is going to be calculation of absorption rate, and once we get the absorption rate, we can directly start with the solution. Calculation of absorption rate. Absorption rate is equal to budgeted overheads upon total labor hours, which is equal to 99,450 rupees upon 5850 hours, which is going to be how much per hour? बताओ. 17. Yes, so it is 17 per labor hour. Is this clear? Okay, is this as per absorption costing or as per activity based costing? Tell me. Absorption. Yes, chapter हो रहा है ABC का, but the sum is asking us to find the absorption rate of the old system also, because we have to price or find the cost of the product using the absorption system. Prepare a statement showing the unit cost and total cost of each product using the absorption costing system. So now can I find the unit cost and can I find total cost as well using absorption costing system? Can I find that? बताओ. yes, ठीक है. So have three columns, one column for particulars and three columns for three products. Once we get the CPU, last में we'll multiply with the output and I will get the total cost of A, B and C as well. So statement showing, solution starts. Statement showing product costs, and total cost दोनों डाल दो. Once we get the product cost per unit, I said we'll multiply total cost with the output and I'll get total costs of the products as well. ये अपना हो गया heading. As I said, one column particulars and three columns for three products A, B and C. Since column 3 ही है, you guys can have a wider column for A, B and C because उसके अंदर maths भी आ सकता है, तो we can comfortably show the maths as well. वरना column में numbers आएंगे easily, वो maths नहीं आएगा, तो उसमें मज़ा नहीं आएगा अगर कुछ maths लगा तो. To show absorption content, can you show net issue working note 2? Okay, net issue किसी को, working note 2 was computation of my absorption rate. ये अपना एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट का सेकेंड वर्किंग नोट है. गणित, यस, गणित दिखाना पड़ेगा अपने को टेबल के अंदर. सो वी आर डूइंग इन अ वे अ प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट शीट. सो वी विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम डायरेक्ट मटेरियल. हाँ, गणित ये सब में आएगा बिकॉज मटेरियल कॉस्ट आर नॉट गिवन पर यूनिट, दे आर गिवन पर केजी एंड द कंजम्पशन एज वेल. सो आई विल गो टू द डिटेल्स ऑफ द केजीज. 4 kgs and what is the cost? What is the cost per kg? Can I say it is 2 per kg and the consumption is here? ये वाला line. So I'll use both this ganit to show in the table. So 4 into 2, so 4, 6 and 3. So 4, 6 and 3. So 4, 6 and 3 and into 2 and into 2 appears to be 8, appears to be 12 and appears to be 6. Is this clear? And same thing I will do for direct labor as well. अभी time दिया है minutes के अंदर, so we have to do some maths for that as well. It is 10 rupees per hour, 30, 45 and 60. So what I'll do, 30 into 10 rupees per hour divide by 60, और बेटर करने जाओगे तो 10 into 30 upon 60 कर सकते. 10 per hour into 30 by 60, 10 per hour into 45 upon 60 and 10 per hour into 60 upon 60. I am showing the maths. 5 कितना आ रहा है, 7.5 and 10. ये समझा क्या, कैसे आया ये? यहां तक कोई क्वेरीज? हाउ आई फाउंड आउट माई डीएम एंड डीएल कॉस्ट्स, इज दिस क्लियर? Yes, okay, very good. So overheads have I found per unit or I have found per labor hour? Per labor hour, perfect. So I will need labor hours as well. So same गणित, लेकिन 10 के बदले I'll use the rate of 17 which we have just found. So 17 into 30 upon 60, 17 into 45 by 60 and 17 into 60 upon 60. So this is going to be I think 8.5. 17 का 3/4 कितना है? 12, 13 कुछ तो 13.25 नहीं, क्या है? और 12.75 एंड ये 17 का 17 ही आने वाला है. नाउ कैन आई टोटल दिस and I will get total cost per unit. Total cost per unit. $12.75. Okay. Total किती आले? Should be 21.5 मेरे ख्याल से 32 point something and 33. Into output 32.2. Now is it clear? Inaudible, voice breaking, cracking. Now it should be clear. Yes. So my question was, have we found the total cost on a per unit basis or the total cost of all the products? PU, that is per unit, fine. And after that I am going to multiply with the output, and the output I think was 4,000, 3,000, 1,600. So 4,000, 3,000 and 1,600, and after doing that I am going to get the total costs of the product. Multiply करने के बाद I should get some number. बताओ 86,96750. okay, 86,96750 and 52,800, and that is the question's first part. Have we completely found out the question's first part? एक बार required part पढ़ लेते. Required part says prepare a statement which we have for management, that's okay, showing the unit cost which we have done and total costs of each product using absorption costing system. This first table that we have made, that is the exact requirement of the part number 1. So part 1 of the question is done. As of now, any queries? Drashti says no, no, nahi, no, no, no. Okay, so which means we are now moving on. We are now moving on to activity based costing. Now, as I said, for doing ABC, I will need the data of all the costs, not department wise, but I will need the activity ke costs independently. As far as the question is concerned, do I have that data where the total company overheads have been split into activity wise? Do I have that split as of now? yes, ठीक है. Do I have the data of cost drivers as well? Yes, which means I have the numerator, I have the denominator का data. I can find a number of, I can find total operators as well. Okay, I need three cost drivers. One is the weight. Okay, how will we get the data? Okay, out of the three activities, which two activities के cost drivers we have? ठीक है, tell me, out of the three activities, which two activities के cost drivers we already have? रसद ने कुछ तो लिंक भेज दिया है. Okay, storage and electricity. The storage is what we have. This is what we have. Okay, that means for material handling, the data is not given in this table, but the cost driver is mentioned to be weight of the material handled. In the entire question, do you have any data regarding the material का weight? Daniel says first table. Yes, यहाँ पे ये वाला. So from this table, we'll get number of kgs handled. From this table, ये वाला, we'll get the ये table. From this table, we'll get other cost drivers का details. Using everything, we will get the cost per unit of the cost driver, and then we will allocate costs to A, B and C. Is this clear as far as ABC is concerned? कि we don't have all the cost drivers directly, थोड़ा गणित करना पड़ेगा. So first working note will be to find total cost drivers. Once we get that, we can make a table. वो एक ही टेबल में सब अपने cost allocate हो जाएंगे. Fine. So let us go to part number 2 और part number B. क्या है वो question का? Part number 2. Okay. So part number 2. Heading I'll simply do activity based cost. ताकि मालूम पड़े कि मैं part number 2 में एक्टिविटी कॉस्ट नहीं, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग, ठीक है, ताकि मालूम पड़े कि आई एम डूइंग एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग के रिलेशन में द फॉलोइंग वर्किंग नोट, कैलकुलेशन ऑफ टोटल कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स. वंस वी गेट टोटल कॉस्ट ड्राइवर्स, we'll obviously get the cost per unit of the cost driver, which will help me to allocate the cost depending on the activities. Hope this is clear. So अपने पास तीन products है, and I will also need total column. So one column particulars, 3 columns for 3 products and 1 column for total, because हर एक column में total आएगा, तो मुझे वो summation के लिए चाहिए. So 1 column particulars, and there are going to be 4 columns, one for A, B and C and one for total. This total column is ultimately going to be used as a denominator to find the cost per unit of the cost driver. Tell me, सोच के बताओ, in the particulars का column, will there be cost drivers or will there be products in the column of particulars? Drivers, product, cost drivers. Products तो नहीं आएगा, because products के लिए we already have 3 columns of A, B and C. So I will have a list of activities here which will have the 3 different का split cost drivers. Yes, so I'll have cost driver 1, 2, 3 here, and then कौन सा cost driver कौन से activity में कितना अपना आने वाला है. ठीक है, is this clear? Yes, so first is the cost driver or details of the quantity. So quantity से मुझे काम आएगा. Quantity से I'll use the weight of the material. So tell me A, B and C का quantity कितना? I think 4000, 3000 and 1600. Total of the kgs is not required as of now. I mean total of the products is not required as of now. मुझे material चाहिए. Tell me, do I have the RM consumption on a per unit basis? I think I do have in the first table 4, 6 and 3. So 4, 6 and 3, what I will get is total RM slash weight, and this is what I want to allocate the costs depending on the weight. So can I say it is 16,000, 18,000 and 4800. कुछ आया क्या ऐसा? कुछ आया ऐसा? Yes, can I say what is the total of RM weight? 16,000 plus 18,000, 34, 34 and 4, 8 appears to be 38,800. Yes, perfect. So we have got the raw material का weight. ठीक है. Now tell me, is any other cost driver given directly or we have to find? I think batches का tension नहीं because वो batches दे दिया है. Can I say we have been given the data regarding per unit of production का number of machine operators? So is the total given or the details are given per unit? ये वाला machine operators का मैं इसका बात कर रहा हूँ. Is this per unit or total? Per unit. That means we are again wanting to find out the total machine operators on a total basis. So next line छोड़ के I would be having one more line, that is cost operators. Cost operators per unit कितना है वो ढूंढो. Cost operators की क्या मैंने कुछ गलत पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं? Sorry, machine operators. Machine operators. ठीक है. Do I have that data? ढूंढो. 6, 3 and 2. So I have 6, 3 and 2. Can I multiply? Okay, will I multiply 16,000 with 6 or I'll multiply 4,000 with 6? Will weight and machine operators have any link? Obviously no. So I will do output into machine operators. So I would say next line में total machine operators. If you want you can just write this down, output into operators per unit. So you guys exactly know कि हम लोग क्या और क्या multiply कर रहे हैं. So can I say 4,000 into 6 appears to be 24,000. 3,000 into 3 appears to be 9,000. 600 into 2 appears to be 3,200. 24 plus 9 plus 3.2 कितना आता है? 26 over 9, 33. 36,200. Is this maths correct as of now? 36,200. अनमोल says 36,200. ठीक है. अनमोल भी बहुत टाइम से गायब था. अनमोल तू किधर गुल था? बहुत टाइम बाद तेरा कमेंट दिखा मेरे को. रसेश बोल रहा है यस. ये चुगली लगा रहा है रसेश. धृति says right गणित. Okay. Now Anmol must be abusing Rasesh. बैकलॉग. हाँ वो भी बैकलॉग क्लियर कर रहा है. अनमोल का यस नहीं बोला. ठीक है. So two cost drivers. So two cost drivers have been found on total basis. Now the third cost driver is अपना किधर गया वो? Number of batches. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा आपको सोचना पड़ेगा. Frankly, सर झगड़ा लगा रहे. अब यहाँ थोड़ा ध्यान दो. Okay. As far as the third table is concerned, ये वाला regarding the number of batches, tell me the cost driver says that the storage cost, इसका बात कर रहा हूँ, the storage cost are going to be allocated, are going to be driven by number of batches. The data given to us is number of batches directly और कुछ गणित करना पड़ेगा to find the number of batches. पहला वो सोचते. Is any maths required or they have directly given us the details of number of batches? गणित 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 सब बोल रहे गणित करना पड़ेगा. Anand says directly, others are saying directly. Okay, see the words given are for complete production. That means this itself is the total. They haven't told the batch size. Had the question given the batch size, then total output divided by batch size will give us number of batches. बट यहाँ पे दे हैव गिवन द नंबर ऑफ बैचेस फॉर टोटल प्रोडक्शन. सो अपने को गणित का नंबर नहीं करना, गणित का जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज दीज आर द टोटल नंबर ऑफ बैचेस क्लियरली मेंशन्ड फॉर कंप्लीट प्रोडक्शन. द बैचेस आर सो एंड सो. सो वी विल नॉट डू 4000 into 10. It doesn't make any sense. If 10, 5 and 15 were batch size, then 4000 into 10, 4000 divided by 10 will give us number of batches, but that is not the case. So 10, 5 and 15 are the total batches. No ganit required. पहले दो डिपार्टमेंट्स में क्यों किया? Because data वैसा दिया है ना तुमको. They have not given the data, so the data given to us is batches directly, and we need batches. So if we need the batches directly, then there is no need to find any maths. And पहले के दो डिपार्टमेंट्स नहीं है, पहले के दो एक्टिविटीज है. So is this clear कि why we did the maths directly? Because the data is given that way. So there is no rule as we have to find something by doing some maths. There is no rule whatsoever. Data जैसा भी दिया होता है, we will do working note. So if working note is not required, then we will not perform any maths. All we have to write in this table is number of batches, ताकि we know exactly batches कितना है. So that is I think 10, 5 and 15. So 10, 5 and 15 appears to be 30 batches in all. Is this clear as to why we are doing no maths as far as batches is concerned? No, nothing conceptual but operational. So data जैसा दिया होता है वैसे काम करने का. It's not that just because we are doing maths for the first two activities, we have to do some maths for activity number 3. So is this clear? Yes. Thankfully yes. सबको समझ में आया क्या किया हमने? Any doubts as of now? Yes. ठीक है, fine, no doubts, fine. So this is my number of cost drivers. Now tell me, have we found out the cost per unit of the cost driver? Have we found the CPU of the CD? CPU is cost per unit, CD is the cost driver. Have we found CPU of CD? The answer is no. Now, whatever is the first activity that depends on RM weight, उसका cost कितना है? Can I say the cost of material handling किधर गया? Material handling is depending on is this amount 29,100. Once I divide 29,100, okay, let's go one step behind. What should I divide 29,100 with? कौन सा टोटल से मेरे को डिवाइड करना चाहिए? 38,8, 36,2 की 30? 38,8, perfect. Because the weight is driving the cost of the first activity. So activity का cost upon 38,800 will give me cost per unit or cost per unit of the cost driver. Will it be CPU or CPU of CD? बताओ. CPU of CD, perfect. And once we get the CPU of CD, then we start allocating the cost to A, B and C. So what I'll do is I'll first make a table. Let the table be finished once, and then you guys figure out spacing कैसा देना पड़ेगा, and then you make the table accordingly. So it's a fixed format to find the cost activity wise or to allocate the cost product wise using this format. So we are doing statement showing activity costs, and obviously there are allocations as well. ये अपना हो गया heading कि अपन क्या कर रहे हैं statement के अंदर. So one column is going to be activities where all the activities will be listed. उसके सामने आएगा amount कि what is the cost of each activity. Let me have a little smaller column because बहुत सारे columns आएंगे. Activity amount, then we write the cost driver कि भाई इस activity को drive कर कौन रहा है. Then we find something called as cost per unit of the cost driver, and then we allocate the cost to 3 products A, B and C. So these are the number of columns that you are going to require in the statement. Can you explain again the CPU of CD? हाँ, जो ये अपना numbers है, इधर का text book, ये जो अपना number है, ये अपना है activity. But I want to find the cost of the cost driver. So when the activity cost is going to be divided with the cost driver, I will get the cost per unit of the cost driver. Is this clear, Dhriti? Okay, got it. Fine. So ये अपना हो गया 1, 2, 3, 4 and the last 3 columns are for the products. So activity, amount, cost drivers, CPU, that is pure maths, and then the last 3 columns are going to be for 3 products. Since I have got 3 activities, I will have 6 lines. एक line पे आएगा amount, एक line पे आएगा maths. So do this ruling for maybe 8 lines max. ये अपना हो गया table statement showing activity costs and their allocations. Obviously allocations are going to happen towards 3 products. So make this ruling and then we'll start with the details. Sahil says done. Done. Okay. The first activity, fine. The first activity appears to be, okay, tell me the activities are in, नाम directly mention कर दे, tension नहीं है, ठीक है. So material handling, storage costs and electricity, these are my 3 activities. So first is activity 1 is material handling. Tell me, what is the amount of material handling as an activity? Can I say it is 29,100? ये मिल गया नंबर एक्टिविटी वाइज स्प्लिट का. Yes, okay, tell me what is driving the costs of the material handling activity? Can I say material weight? Is material weight driving the activity? Yes. And how do we get the CPU of CD? What I will do, total material weight, ये कितना है? Can I say total material weight is 38,800? यहीं से आ रहा है वो material weight, and bracket में I will write कि that is 38,800. And CPU of CD is going to be 29,100 divide by 38,800. कुछ आया नंबर? $0.75. Now is this 0.75 cost per unit or cost per kg of RM, or the cost of the weights of the material handled? It's as per the weights, obviously. My job of ABC is very much similar to absorption, which means my job here, kg, perfect. My job here is to compute the cost per finished goods, that is A, B and C, and not the cost of the RM. Do I have total kgs handled of A, B and C? Can I say it is 16,000, 18,000 and 4,800? These 3 numbers will be multiplied with the CPU of the CD being 0.75 to get individual costs of A, B and C. Is this clear? Because we have found the cost per kg and number of kgs are, we have just found that out. Perfect. So जो भी 0. जो भी नंबर आने वाला है इंटू 16, 18, 4800, तो मैं मैथ्स लिख रहा हूँ, यू ऑल राइट द मैथ्स अलॉन्ग विथ नंबर्स. सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी 0.75 इंटू 16 की 18 क्या था, 16 इंटू 16 के 0.75 इंटू 18 के and 0.75 into भूल गया किती आहे 36 नहीं 48 into 4800. I have just shown the maths तुम्हारे कॉलम में मैथ्स भी आएगा एंड द कॉस्ट्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ रुपीज विल आल्सो कम. इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द एग्जाम. यू हैव टू शो द मैथ्स एज वेल एज द रुपीज. टाइम कम बचेगा तो ठीक है, बट एज अ फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस ऑलवेज शो द मैथ्स in the columns as well, because we have found out 0.75. We haven't told how will 29 100 will be split between A, B and C. That's why we have to show how we have got the maths. And same thing for other two activities. Other activities appears to be किधर गया, storage costs. Storage cost, okay. Storage cost का amount appears to be 31,200. So it is 31,200. Tell me what is driving the cost of storage? Can I say batches? Can I say how many batches are there? और ये क्या हो गया, 30 मिला क्या प्रीवियस टेबल से? बैचेस के रो में लास्ट नंबर इन टोटल कॉलम 30, ये वाला. यस. सो कैन आई फाइंड माई कॉस्ट पर बैच? वंस आई डिवाइड 31,200 by 30, I will get the cost per batch, जो कितना आता है? 1000 something, 1040. So we have got 1040 as the cost per unit of the factor that is driving the cost, or cost per unit of the cost driver, CPU of CD. And now I just need number of batches, that is I think 10, 5 and 15. So as per maths, 1040 into 10, 1040 into 5 and 1040 into 15, ऐसा कुछ है ना? 10, 5, 15, 10, 5, 15. Yes, all you have to do is relate the correct cost driver with the correct cost. ये हो गया. Then the last activity appears to be what? Electricity. Electricity amount appears to be 39,150. So we have 39,150, and the driver which is driving the cost is machine operations. So I'll simply write machine operations, which as per our working note is किधर गया, 36,200. So 39,150 divided by 36,200. This is going to be the maths through which I will get the number 1 point something. 1.08. Okay, so the rate appears to be 1.08. Let me have the standard 3150 upon. And then 1.08 into all these numbers, 24, 9,003, 200. 1.08 into 24k, 1.08 into 9k, and 1.08 into 3.2k. So have we allocated the total activity costs among the three products depending on their respective cost driver usage? yes, perfect. अभी जब हो ही गया है, so all I need to do is have a summation total overheads. This obviously has to be that 99,450 because my job is to allocate all the overheads. Total कर लो. What is the total in column number A? Total overheads of product A. Yes, yes, yes. Last column will be difference. Last column. अच्छा, वो round off की वजह से. Yes, balancing figure in column number C will be 39,150 minus A minus B. Yes, वो round off कर लो, चल वो चल जाएगा. No problem. वो जो भी number डाल दो that has total of 50 in the end because my job is to allocate 39,150. So 39,150 less A column less B column. Balancing figure is going to be in C column as per maths. What is total overheads in column A? अगर किसने किया है तो 48,320. Okay. 48,320. That is total of column A. अरे किधर आ गया? 48,320. Then we have 28,420 for B. 28,420 for B, and balancing figure 99,450 minus A minus B, 22,710. 22,710. Now tell me, ये जो तीन numbers आए अपने को 48,320 plus 28,420 plus 22,710, are these overheads of the company split between A, B and C as per their activity usage? 22656 है, 22656 वो राउंड ऑफ कर लो ना to make it zero. I mean to make it summation. Khushi says 22656 for C. But इससे फिर जीरो आएगा एंड में. 22656. हाँ बराबर 22656. ओके ओके 22656 राउंड ऑफ. ठीक है, हाँ राउंड ऑफ करने के बाद बराबर. फाइन. सो कैन आई से दीज आर टोटल ओवरहेड्स स्प्लिट बिटवीन ए बी एंड सी. नाउ 48,320, 28,420 and 22,656, are they company's total costs or only the overheads content? ये पूरा पूरा overheads है या पूरा पूरा cost है including DM and DL? Overheads, yes. That means we have to add DM and DL as well, which we haven't done yet. So what we'll do, okay, are these costs per unit or are these costs of the entire production for A, B and C? ये 48,320 जो आया है, these are total costs or the costs per unit? Entire, perfect. So now can I divide the entire product costs upon the total output to get the cost per unit as far as overheads is concerned? If I divide these numbers with the output, will I get the overheads per unit? Yes, yes, yes. That means have we achieved what absorption costing as a concept used to achieve overheads per unit? Yes, and that is how ABC का objective and absorption costing का objective is more or less same. This is also absorbing overheads. Absorption costing also absorbed overheads. The difference is that absorption costing absorbed overheads only basis labor hours or machine hours. Here we are absorbing overheads depending on the activities and which product is using which activity more. So what you can do is make a statement to find total cost on a per unit basis. Is that the exact one which has been asked? Prepare a statement of management showing the product cost of each product, ठीक है, using ABC, ठीक है. So last column when we have overheads, we'll show the maths in the table itself. So what we can do is statement showing costs per unit dash करके ABC approach, signifying that we are now doing the product costing basis ABC, and we had done product costing basis old as well ना previous इसके अंदर. हाँ 8, 5 all these things we had done. So 8 and 5 the direct material and direct labor will be coming directly from this table. When we have overheads, we'll divide the total overheads with the output to get the cost per unit, and that is how. अरे यहाँ पे space था करने के लिए, छोड़ो चलो, ठीक है. Statement showing product costs as per ABC. So one column will be particulars and 3 columns for 3 products A, B and C. Have a wider column because overheads के column में we have to show the maths of total overheads upon output. So we'll start from direct material, direct labor, and this is going to come from 1. So we signify that these two answers are going to come from 1. No need to show the maths again. We have already shown the maths in the previous table. So that's understood that we have done the maths there. So we directly get the numbers from the second or the third table. 8, 5. So 8, 12, 6. 5, 7.5 and 10. 8, 12, 6, 5, 7.5 and 10. Is it? 8, 12, 6, 5, 7.5 and 10. Perfect. चलो ये होने के बाद I would write the term overheads, and overheads के लिए मुझे दिखाना पड़ेगा maths, which is these 3 numbers 48, 320 divided by I think 4000 की 3000 क्या था 4000, then 28, 420 divided by 3k and 22656 divided by 3000 क्या था 32 या 48 16 divided by 1600. These are the maths which you have to show in the exam, and after doing all these things you will get total cost per unit. 22710 will come. 22710 नहीं आएगा ना, वो उन्हें कैंसिल किया ना 22710 राउंडिंग ऑफ का. That 22656 is after rounding off. Okay, राउंड ऑफ के बाद 22710. अरे पहले कंफर्म करो, राउंड ऑफ के बाद 22710 राउंड ऑफ के पहले 48 320 plus 28 420 plus 22656 वो तो नहीं आएगा ऑब्वियसली, माइनस 22656 प्लस 22710. हाँ तो इस 22710 ना बराबर बट राउंड ऑफ करना ना अपने को, बिकॉज 1.08 itself is rounded off, so the totals won't tie up, so we need to have that round off figure. समझ लगा? The summation of all the three columns of overheads should be 99,450. So balancing figure in whichever column can be the amount which should be to round off total cost. Hope that's clear. What is the CPU of overheads in column A? 12.08. 12.08. Then we have 0.95. 0.95. 9.47. 9.47, okay. 9.47 and 473 is fine, 47 and 14.19. ठीक है, and ये सब करने के बाद what I will get is total cost as per ABC. 8 and 5, 12, 24 point something, 8 and 5, 13, sorry, 25.08. $19.5, 28.97, 30.19, 14.16 है क्या? 14.16, I don't know. 14.19 है कि 14.16 है? क्लैरिफाई कर लो. That's okay, round off here and there is fine. Don't do 22656, do 22710 divide by 1600. 30.16, 14.19, ठीक है, वो round off is fine. Sorted. So have we found total cost on a per unit basis as per activity based costing? यहाँ तक कोई doubts है? First time we are doing activity based costing and not absorption costing. I mean, we had an absorption costing as well, but as far as the question is concerned, why 22710? अरे भाई, 99,450 is company's overheads. उसमें से column A is known, column B is known, third column balancing figure BF. समझ लगा? बैलेंसिंग फिगर राउंड ऑफ करने के लिए. ओ अभी चमका. Yes sir, clear, okay. So we need to allocate 99450. So if we do 22656, so A plus B plus C won't come up to 99450. It's simply mathematical. Frankly इसका math marks नहीं कटना चाहिए, but it's always better to tell the examiner कि round off का error है, तो हमने उसको round off का एकदम clear कर दिया है. Yes sir, clear, done. So ये अपना हो गया cost allocation as per ABC. Fine. Now is the question asking any third part? I think yes. First part is done. Second part is done. Third पूछता है state the reasons of different product costs under two approaches. ये simple theory answer है. We are allocating the costs as per absorption costing using direct labor hours. So we are not giving any consideration to the cost activities and their usage. But in ABC, costs are allocated, rather overheads. Overheads are allocated depending on the cost driver and the cost driver depending on the cost driver rates and the cost driver usage. That is why ABC is a much more accurate system as compared to absorption costing, and that is why the product pricing and the product costing is different under both the systems. I will obviously dictate this for you guys, but is this clear as to why overheads are different in different systems of absorption? Yes sir, clear. Yes, 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 perfect. So what we'll do now is part number 3. Costing in absorption and ABC. Costing in absorption and ABC. the difference in product costs arises due to difference in allocation of overheads. Next para, overheads are allocated only basis labor hours in traditional costing system. Overheads are allocated only basis labor hours in traditional costing system. However, allocation happens basis the cost driver rates and respective usage of cost drivers in ABC. Therefore, ABC is more accurate method of overheads allocation. So I have given the reasons also, and I also mentioned the fact that ABC is a better system of allocating overheads. And तुमको ये देख के मालूम पड़ ही गया होगा as to why ABC is better. It is because the cost driver rates and the cost driver usage is being considered, not just the time which is required to make a product. Is this third part of theory clear as to why there is a difference? Yes, yes, yes. Done. Done, 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 done. Yes. ढल गया दिन. ठीक है, so we have done question number 1. I want you guys to try question number 2. उसमें एक चीज नया है. The third part is theory, so forget the theory for the time being. Part 2 में एक चीज नया है, but it is, I think it should be understood. So try question number 2 as homework and we'll discuss that question number 2. And as far as costing का that one sum was concerned, thank you, मुझे याद है costing का जो अपना एक sum था, उसका solution is what we are going to quickly discuss. It will take 5 minutes. So इधर कर लेते फिर इसको इरेज कर लेंगे. So question number 1 of the test, I think the first part का cost sheet was very simple, बराबर, उसमें से कोई नया बात था नहीं अपना, पूरा numbers were given, DM was given, DL was given, prime cost add कर सकते हैं, overheads, I think all the overheads were given मेरे ख्याल से. So I'm just adding the final numbers. 9 lakhs was DM, 7.5 lakhs was DL, 16.5 lakhs was prime cost, 4.5 lakhs was overheads, 21 lakhs was my factory cost, I think, to which 4 lakh 20 was added. I got 25 lakh 20,000 as COP, I believe, and S&D was 5 lakh 25,000. I think यहाँ पे ये सब में किसी को mistake होना नहीं चाहिए, at least the first part में. And then total cost were I think 30 lakh 45,000. 30 lakh 45,000. यहाँ तक clear? Total cost कैसे आया? Public बोल रहा है yes fine. All numbers were directly given to us. DM, DL, your FOH, admin, everything was given. ये अपना total cost, and there was some margin. I think margin was 1/6 of sales. Is it? Was the margin 1/6 of sales और 1/5 of sales? क्या था? मेरे ख्याल से 1/6 था. Oh, profit was directly given. Oh, ठीक है, बेस्ट. तो प्लस आई थिंक 609. आई थॉट ये मैथ्स करना पड़ेगा अपने को. 609 was given, and I think total cost should be 36 lakh 54,000. ये आया सबको? If there is any mistake here, then rectify कर लो. Frankly, there is no place where mistake can happen unless it's a calculation mistake, because all these numbers were directly given to us. ठीक है. Now year 2 is pretty interesting. Year 2 में I think the question said that my production is going up and the rates was going up मेरे ख्याल से. Let me read the question. किधर गया अपना question? हाँ, direct materials would be 12 lakhs, so DM becomes 12 lakhs, DL was 7.5 lakhs, that becomes 19 lakh 50,000. Now they have said pricing and assuming the assuming same rates of pricing, that is okay, and assuming S&D have gone up by so and so, okay. The next line says factory overheads were recorded as the same percentage of the previous year, which means we have to find the absorption rate of previous year. So previous year का factory overheads का absorption rate क्या है? As a percentage of what? The factory recovers overheads as a percentage of wages. So what is the factory? I think 4.5 lakhs divided by 7.5 lakhs. ये absorption rate ये साल में भी use करना पड़ेगा. Is this the case? 60%. Okay. तो 7.5 lakhs का 60% we have to use to get the overheads of FOH. So 7.5 lakh का 60%, 6 5 are 30, 4 lakh 50. So 4 lakh 50,000 appears to be the factory overheads, and this appears to be 24 lakhs as my factory cost. Is this clear? 24 lakhs. Yes. Now then they have also said S&D factory overheads. The factory recovers factory overhead as a percentage of direct wages, admin and selling overheads as a percentage of works cost. And had I mentioned the factory cost to be production base? Okay, production base. So admin को मुझे add करना पड़ेगा. What was the last year का absorption rate as a percentage of works cost, मतलब factory cost? So my factory cost appears to be 4 lakh. Okay. So what is 525? नहीं. 4 lakh 20. What is 4 lakh 20 as a percentage of 21 lakhs? 4 lakh 20 as a percentage of 21 lakhs was 20%. So this time I would apply 20% on 24 lakhs to make it I think 4 lakh 80,000. ये समझा कैसे आया? I will use same absorption rates which were used on the previous year to apply on current year as well. Last year 21 lakhs का 20% is 4.2 lakhs. That is why this year 24 lakhs का 20% is going to be the admin content of production based overheads as well. यहां तक आई थिंक तकलीफ नहीं होना चाहिए. प्रॉब्लम आएगा तुम्हारा एसएनडी में. द क्वेश्चन सेज दैट एसएनडी हैज गॉन अप बाय 15%. सो ये अपना इन्फ्लेशनरी एसएनडी है. एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट चेंज नहीं करना है अपने को एज ऑफ नाउ. व्हाट वाज लास्ट ईयर्स absorption rate of SND? Can I say it was 5,25,000 upon 21 lakhs? 25%. Perfect. So 25% was on 21 lakhs. So this time, ध्यान दो, this time the SND overheads is going to be 24 lakhs के ऊपर 25% as it is as of now. So this would have been the overheads had there been no increase, but because of increase, this full amount of 24 lakhs into 25% will be added by 15% flat, which appears to be 6 lakhs, that is 24 lakh का 25% plus 15%. This is the ganit for having the SND overheads, which appears to be 6,90,000. Don't do 25% plus 15% is 40%. So 24 lakh का 40% ऐसा मत करो. All you have to do is absorb the overheads basis the previous year's absorption rate. This would be the absorbed content without the inflation. You add 15% separately, and 6,90,000 is the overheads of SND. After adding 2880 to 690, I am going to get 3570. Is this total cost? वैशाली says yes, yes. मतलब उसको बराबर मिला लगता है, खुश हो गई. So 35 lakh 70 is the total cost. And the question again said that I want the same profit margin as was in the last year. So what is 6,09,000 upon 30 lakh 45, or what is 6,09,000 upon 3654? I think it is 1/6 of selling price. So this into 100 because for sales मेरे को चाहिए, and this is I think 83.33 because अगर 1 में से 1/6 निकाल देंगे it is going to be 5/6 and 5/6 is 83.33%. So what you guys can do, 35,70,000 into 100 divided by 83.3333 पूरा कैंसी पे ले लो and you will get the sales price of this order. 20% ऑफ सीपी, 20% ऑफ सीपी नहीं है, इज इट 16? हाँ बराबर, 20% ऑफ कॉस्ट और 1/6 ऑफ सेलिंग प्राइस. सिंपली टेक 3570 का 20%, वो कुछ नंबर आएगा, एंड टोटल मेरे को सेल्स मिलना चाहिए 42 समथिंग इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, 4284, आई डोंट नो, 4284. This is the sales value. मिस्टेक अगर हुआ तो एट द मोस्ट यहाँ पे हो सकता है, यू विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि अपने को प्लस फ्लैट 15% ऐड करना है. सो यू हैव टू ऐड 15% फ्लैट टू वॉट एवर अमाउंट ऑफ ओवरहेड्स यू गेट, बिकॉज दिस इज इन्फ्लेशन. हैड देयर बीन नो इन्फ्लेशन आई वुड गेट 20%, 25% जो भी है, एंड देन दिस इज द अमाउंट एक्स इन्फ्लेशन. यू ऐड 15% एंड यू विल गेट द 690 का फिगर, and then your profit margin is what last year के हिसाब से you compute and get the sales value as well. Is this clear? समझ में आया? Yes. Any queries out here in this test question? No. And other two questions का solution I think I had sent. I think वो department and PPI की, I think investment and PPI that was sent. Fine. So upcoming Sunday you will have overheads. ओवरहेड्स में जितने भी सेक्शन है, वो क्लासरूम सेक्शन, एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग सेक्शन, एक्स्ट्रा सेक्शन, जो भी पूरा है, ऑल 32 क्वेश्चंस, वो पूरे सिलेबस में से आई लास्ट 2 or 3 लाइक क्वेश्चंस. सो 2-3 सम्स ऑफ ओवरहेड्स एंड सिंगल एंट्री के भी एटलीस्ट 2 सम तो आएंगे. सो इट विल बी अ 4 or 5 क्वेश्चंस का टेस्ट. अकॉर्डिंगली स्टार्ट स्टडिंग, एंड टुमारो वील अगेन ओके. टुमारो के लेक्चर में क्या होगा, 12:30 आई विल स्टार्ट कॉस्टिंग, 12:30 to 4 I would do costing, and Adit cannot start directly after 4, so he will start I think at 6 o'clock. So 12:30 to 4 I will do costing, and 6 onwards Adit will continue accounts. मैं ग्रुप पे डालता हूँ ताकि बाकी लोग जो निकल गए, I can see 10-15 people have vanished. That means those have not written the test. It's very simple. Public भाग गया और क्या ठीक है. So tomorrow we'll meet at 12:30 where I'll continue logic. Obviously we'll continue at 12:30. कल के लिए थोड़ा तकलीफ है because I have to wrap up at 4 o'clock. So कल के लिए we'll start at 12:30. उसके बाद से we can start. Okay, तुम्हारा कॉलेज अभी खत्म होता है क्या? What time your college starts? I mean ends rather. सुबह सुबह कैसे हो सकता है? दृष्टि says 12:36. 12:30 really 12:36 is it? I thought it's a typo. कॉलेज कौन अटेंड करता है? नहीं नहीं भाई, कॉलेज पब्लिक अटेंड करता है, बाकी लोग को नहीं है. फाइन. सो 12:36 ठीक है. तो चलो 12:45 विल स्टार्ट. 12:45 विल स्टार्ट टुमारो एंड 4 o'clock तक लेके जाएंगे. एंड आफ्टर दैट आदित्य विल स्टार्ट एट 6 o'clock. ही हैज सम वर्क इन बिटवीन टुमारो. बराबर. सो आई विल पुट दिस ऑन द ग्रुप एज वेल. Hope you guys are attempting the tests seriously. HR के लोग के मजे है चिल करने का. मस्त चिल मत करो, पढ़ाई के लिए टाइम यूज करो, बैकलॉग क्लियर करने. Okay, bye bye. See you guys tomorrow. Welcome, welcome. Bye, bye.